Hello to all my lively ladies. You're very welcome to today's 20 great dumbbell and body weight exercises. And these are to help us gain strength and mobility. Okay, we're bringing a bit of mobility into today's class as well. Let's get ourselves warmed up before we start. Step touch here, crisscross the arms in front. You can work your way up and down your body. Go over the head if you want to. Increase that heart rate a little bit quicker. Get a little bit warmer. But you can keep them down in front of your tummy if you prefer. That's great. Now let me tell you a little bit about today's workout. We have 20 exercises, and these are my go-to exercises that I do on a regular basis myself when I'm not shooting for YouTube. I love these exercises, and like I say, I think they're wonderful for bringing mobility and flexibility into the body, as well as gaining strength. Okay, so we're working for 15 seconds to transition or have a little rest, 45 to do the work. Let's switch up these legs here. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Now take it into a leg curl and curl your heel to your bum. Drive those arms back behind you and just feel that little contraction there with the shoulder blades as we retract those the shoulder blades, so to bring in the upper back muscles. That's it. Now you may need a mat today if you're working on a hard surface. If you're on a carpet, you'll be fine. I'm going to do a clamshell. Now you may or may not have heard of a clamshell, but it's a wonderful exercise to hit those little muscles in around the outside of the upper leg. Okay. Now if you can't get to the floor, don't worry. Just try it up on a higher surface like your bed. Okay, it'll work well on the bed as well. We have our glute squeezes, ham curls. You could do those up on a kitchen chair. We've done those before, so they're fine. Just rest your hands on the chair and try them up on a higher surface. Or coffee table would be great for the glute squeeze and ham curls as well. Okay, we're doing some push-ups. You can go to the door or the wall for those if you don't want to go to the floor. All right. Okay, let's count out these legs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to reach side to side, stretch out the torso. Good. I'm just seeing, is there anything else that... Yeah, I'm going to do seated concentration curl to work the biceps. So you'll have you can do them standing if you want, but I just think it's a lovely exercise seated. Okay, so the concentration curl is nice seated, but you can do regular bicep curls upright if you want to. I'm going to elevate my feet for one of the exercises, a squat thruster. So I'm going to elevate my feet for those. You don't have to if you don't want to. I have my little weight plates behind me. You might be able to see them. A book is fine. You can elevate your feet on a book. I just find it helps if you have tight ankles, which I know one of my ankles is quite tight. So just elevating the feet for that helps me. If you want, you can just do a box squat using the chair while we have it today. Okay, I think everything else is quite straightforward. If I think of something, I'll say it to you when we get to it. Let's do 4 and 3, 2. Now let's sweep those hands in front and we'll continue to stretch out that upper back. So we're going to fit a lot into these 20 exercises today. You'll be amazed what you can fit into a short amount of time. That's good. And sweep and sweep. Well done. And drive across and drive across. Good. So the first few exercises will be concentrating on the big muscle groups in the lower half of the body. Then we'll focus on exercises to work the upper half, okay, the arms, shoulders, triceps, biceps. And then the last 4 exercises is going to be a mixture of upper and lower body. And it might get your heart rate up, so you might get a little bit of cardio thrown in the mix today. Okay, let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's keep the feet a little wider than shoulder, little seat, and reach up to the ceiling. Now we are doing squat thrusters, but like I say, I'm going to elevate my feet for these. But just for the warm up, we'll just do a little seat and reach up and introduce the exercise to our muscles and nervous system. Make sure the knees are tracking out over those shoes. That's good. Keep the chest now, the torso upright. Reach right up, that's good. Make sure the arms are nice and long, stretching right up to the ceiling, getting a full range of movement. Good. Well done. Now let's circle those arms. You can move the feet again. Great. Now we're starting off with a sumo deadlift. So you may or may not have ever heard of a sumo deadlift. Sumo is just, it is a squatting move, but the toes are very exaggerated. Let's go the other way. They're pointed outwards. And it's great for hitting the muscle groups in different ways, getting those inner thighs involved as well. Now, if you have a variety of weights, you can see here I'm going to go a little heavier with some of the exercises and back down to lighter weights for some. If you have your weights there, a variety of weights, have those handy. Great. Let's do 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Whew, feeling fatigued in those arms. Okay, let's go up and down and get the cracks out of those ankles. That's great. Good. So first few exercises, we'll be hitting the glutes, hamstrings at the back, quads and the inner thighs. So we're going all around all areas. Then we get to the upper half, triceps, biceps, chest. We get some chest work and the back as well, okay? And then we mix it. We'll give you a little bit of mixture before we finish up. Good. Okay. Working those calves as well here. Good. Let's go up and down. Up and down. And here's one as well. You can, if you want to make a calf, you can put a weight in your hands if you want to just increase intensity with calf raises. Good. It's hard to hit the calves at home. Calf raises is probably one I'd go for. You can do them a single leg, 2 legs. You can go up on a higher surface, like a household step, and get some calf work like that. That's it, good. And lift up. You probably feel them burning pretty quickly. They do tend to get overwhelmed very quickly. That's it, good. Particularly, they're not as big a muscle group as, let's say, your glutes or your quadriceps or hamstrings, but also we just tend to neglect them as well. That's it, lift up and down. Okay, they are burning so quickly. All right, let's get started now. So just a sumo deadlift. Let me just show you before we start. If you want to continue on with some little stationary walks there, a little bit less intense in those calf raises while you watch me, or if you want to practice this move, come on with me now. So the toes, you can see, are very exaggerated, pointing outwards. I'm going to hold 2 weights here in front, and then you just go up, up and down, okay? Good, and just holding the weights out in front to add that resistance. Making sure the knees track outwards, they're not caving in. Press the weight into your heels and keep your back straight, your torso pretty much upright, okay? Now if you have any problems with any type of squatting and you have your chair, what you can just do is just do a box squat. You can hold the weight out in front, make sure you're not going to miss the seat of the chair. Okay, sit down, hold the weight out in front, drive your weight up, okay? Do that if you have issues with squats, with any of the squatting moves you see today. Right, let's get going with those sumos. Right, so 15 seconds to get going. If you don't want any long rest periods, just go straight away, okay? We have our stiff leg deadlift coming after this, which is a firm favorite of mine, and it's great for the hamstrings. So we'll be working those hamstrings next. Right, so turn out those toes, exaggerate that turn. You might have to experiment a little bit with it. Good, breathe in. Breathe out, good. Well done now. And again, just try and keep the chest upright. That's it, good work. And drive your weight up. Hold your breath. Breathe out at the top. Breathe in. Fill up the air. Fill up the tummy with air just to protect that back. And then let it all out as soon as you get to the top. That's it. Good. Well done. Now let's get ready for Romanian deadlift, or stiff leg deadlift is a more common name. Stick your bottom out right out behind you. Just let the weights run down the front of the body. Join me now when you hear the beep. There we go. Keep the neck relaxed. So we worked the glutes and the quads, or the thigh muscles, the front of the thigh there with sumo. I'm going to really focus now on the back of the body now with stiff leg deadlift. So it's just a slight bend in the knee. You're not going into a full squat. Lead, stick that bottom out behind you. That's it, good. Well done. Now we have side leg lift and inner thigh raises next. So we're doing a combination move next. If you find your balance is a little bit off today, just put the weights down and do a body weight. So we have a mixture of body weight exercises in with the dumbbells today. So it's up to you. If you want to hold a weight, that's fine. Or if you feel like you'd rather just put one down, put the weight down and hold on to the wall or the door or a chair, go for that. So side leg lift, and then we're going to just work those inner thighs by rotating the foot. Notice how we just turn the foot a little bit and then drive that leg towards the midline of the body. Okay, take your time with this. Stay on one side. It will just challenge the balance a little bit, so for that reason it might be best to put the weight down and just hold on to something. Good. And you should feel the opposing muscle groups working here. Glute medius, glute minimus on the outside of the hip with side leg lift, and then the inner thigh with the leg lifting in towards the body. Now if you don't want all that rest, you can start now. Good. And side leg lift and up. Of course, if you need more rest, just add an extra 5 seconds or so onto the rest time. Okay, give yourself 20 seconds if you're new here, where you just feel like you need that rest today. Good. Lift. Now we have the clamshell next. So just think in your head how you're going to do it. If you can get to the mat, that's fine. It's very straightforward. But if you have trouble getting up and down off the floor, you can try it on your bed. Okay, it's a lovely exercise to again hit those little muscles in that hip region. That's it, good. And lift. Should be feeling that inner thigh there with that little rotation of the toe there, the foot. Good. I'll just finish that one off. Well done. Okay, now a few body weight exercises coming up on the floor, or like I say, on your chair if you can't get to the floor, or bed. Clamshell. Okay, you won't be able to do this on a kitchen chair, I'm fully sure of it. All right, so just resting gently on your elbow there and just glue the feet together. Very simple move, but very effective. Just lifting and lowering the legs, not hurrying, taking your time, feeling the muscles contract here around the outside of your hip. And it's wonderful for bringing in some rotation into the hip as well. That's it, good. Good for hip mobility. This is one you could include in a cool down as well, even though you're not actually stretching. It's good for part of your mobility routine, which I hope you do spend a little bit of time working on your mobility. Well done. Time goes very quick with that. If you feel like you'd like more reps, just pause the video. Okay, now change around to the other side. You can go straight away if you'd like, just to give yourself more time. That's it. So lift and lower. Now we're going to go into the glute squeezes and hamstring curls next. One leg, then the other. And lift and lower. Now you may not feel like you're doing too much with this, but it's again just wonderful for your mobility. Okay, wonderful exercise here. You can actually feel how the hips are lengthening out a little bit with this one. Now if you're not on the floor for this, try the glute squeeze ham curls on the chair. We actually do them quite regularly using the kitchen chair. Good. Lift and lower. So just let me show you glute squeeze. So it's the same thing. Rest your hands on the chair. Get into that all 4 points there. So lift your foot up, extend, draw it back in and bring it down. Okay, now place your hands on the chair if you can't go to the floor, and then just lift your foot up, extend, draw in and down. Drive up towards the ceiling, extend that leg, curl in and down. So back to working the glutes and the hamstrings here. Lift up, extend, curl, back down, drive up, extend, curl, back down. Lift, extend that leg, bring it back in and down. Good. Focus on each part of the exercise. That's it. Stay in tune with your body. Have a little stretch back if you're feeling a bit of tension. If you want to start now, go ahead, or if you want to wait for the beeper, that's perfect. Okay, just make sure that your wrists, elbow and shoulder are all in one straight line as much as you can here. Lift, extend, curl and down. Lift, extend, curl the leg in and back down. Drive up, out, in and down. Good. Well done. So lift up, extend, curl and down. I have to talk my way through this a little bit. Sorry if it sounds a bit repetitive. Good. And curl and down. Going to work into some upper body now. Okay, well done. So just move your mat out of the way and we'll go into some standing back rows. So I'm going to just use my 1 kilogram each here. Start off with the hands down by your legs. Lift up, down and back down to starting position. Up, row the weights down, back to starting position. Now we have the push-ups coming next, and I purposely put those in before the tricep exercise that's coming up, because if you exhaust your triceps too soon, push-ups become very challenging and maybe you mightn't be able to do them at all. So just be careful with some of those exercises that you might find challenging to begin with. Okay, that's it. Sometimes they need an order in which to do them in. Good. Some nice shoulder work going on here. I'm feeling those upper back muscles as well, even with light weights. It's lovely. Okay, now let's go to the wall or the floor. So anyone that wants to do them upright, just stand back a little bit away from the wall and then just drive your face or your nose down towards the door or the wall. Okay, now if you want to come to the floor, you know the drill now. Okay, don't cross your legs over. Good, abdominals engaged. And up and down, okay? So, let's take a breath in. Hold it. Breathe out to raise. Well done. Closer those hands, the more work those triceps will get. Take your time with this as well. Again, we're not looking for like 20, 30 reps. Got some back rows now coming next. We're going to go wide and narrow with them. So we're used to doing the wide back row on the channel. I'm going to mix it up a little bit today. Get your mat out of the way now. Okay, so back rows. You might be able to go heavier with back rows because it's a very big muscle groups working here. Let's go wide out to the outside of the legs, inside of the legs for narrow. Keep your back now nice and straight. Neck is relaxed. That's it. Draw those weights up behind you there. Elbows coming up nice and high behind you. That's it. Retract those shoulder blades. Good. And draw up. Just take your time now. We're not rushing these exercises. Nice and slow. Slower is better. Long arms down towards the floor. That's it. Keep your belly button pulled in tight to your spine there. Protect that back for me. Well done. Okay, now we've got the seated concentration curl. So again, Nick, you can do a standing concentration curl if you want to, or a standing bicep curl. But I like this one where you sit on the chair, tuck that elbow into the inside of your leg, rest your free hand on the other leg, and then just bring that weight up towards your chest and back down again. Nice and slow. You can bring it up for a count of 1, hold for a second, and then bring it down for a count of 3. Hold, count of 3. So you're bringing the muscles into, keeping the muscles tense, okay? So time under tension, as we call it, which allows for muscle growth. That's it. And bringing it back down. So all the way to your chest, hold for a second, and back down. Well done. And again, I think we might need too much rest with this one in particular. So you can go straight away if you want to. Hold for a second and back down. So we're really concentrating, as the name suggests, on that bicep. So draw that weight up to your shoulder. Good, take your time. Hold it there for a second and then bring it back down to the start for a count of 3. So you're bringing it up at a faster pace, holding for a second, then bringing it down at a slower pace. So we are getting the muscle to work against gravity here. That's it, good, which is what keeps tone in our muscles. Great. Well done, keep going with that. Now we've got those tricep kickbacks coming. What weight do you think you'll use for that? Because the triceps can tend to be a little bit weaker than the biceps. So let's go to the back of the arm now. Okay. Do some kickbacks, a very popular exercise to work the triceps, particularly at home when you may only have dumbbells to work with. And come on in with me now. Keep that back straight. Now the lower you go down with your torso, the more you hit those triceps. But again, just see how that feels for you. You might have to come up a little bit. Good. Tuck in those elbows to your side. Relax the neck. Good. Have some back flies coming next. Now, because we're doing a lot of upper body work in a row here, you may need to switch down to a lighter weight, but just see, you may surprise yourself. Kick back, good. Now, even holding this position here is quite a challenge, particularly when you've done a lot of work for the lower half. Good work, well done. Now we have our back flies. So if your muscles are feeling a bit fatigued, that's fine, that's good, they've been worked. Change down to a lighter weight. Stick your bottom out and we're going to do some back flies. There we go. Good, again, retracting those shoulder blades. Now we're holding that position again. Well done. That's it, come on, you can do it. I know it's getting tough now, you can feel the muscles working. Draw those weights back, retracting those shoulder blades. Good, you can feel the glutes and the quads or the thigh muscles, particularly at the front. Working hard to keep you in this position. Good. If you really are tired, stand up, have a little break. No harm. And then go back down again. Good. We're nearly there now. Get a few more reps in. We have our seated shoulder press coming next. Well done. Okay, you might be glad to hear you're seated. Okay, I'm going to go back up to a little heavier weight. All right, take your time, take your break if you need it. Getting hard now. Lifting and lowering. And lower back down. And back down. Good. Now I want you to give me nice, long, straight arms. Drive the weight up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Use your breath to help you lift weight above your head as always. Really starting to feel a bit of heat coming into the body now. Good. Well done. Now we're going to go to upper and lower half. You might need a little rest after this because the squat thrusters are coming next. And that is shoulder work again. Okay, I'm going to push myself and stay with these 3 kilograms. Okay, now if you have issues with squat thruster, you can just use the chair. Okay, and thrust the weight above your head. If you want to, you can elevate your feet, just like I was explaining at the start. It's good for anyone with tight ankles. And thrust. Good. And reach above your head. Breath out. Breath in. Good. So this is our upper and lower half mixed together. We have a dumbbell slam coming next. You can drop down your weight for that one if you like. Good. 10 seconds left. Good work. Push that air out. Well done. Okay, now let's go into a dumbbell slam. Okay, drop down a little bit because the upper half will be very fatigued now at this stage. So we're just going to slam on either side. Okay, let's go. Watch your kneecap here. Now you have to watch a few things with this one. Make sure your knees are not caving inwards because it is essentially a little squatting move you're doing. So send those knees outwards, out over those shoelaces for me. Good. And slam. And slam. Good. Keep going. Well done. Use your breath in, out. Now we have our glute squeezes, back row next. Okay, now if you're feeling tired after all that, stay with your lighter weights, or you can even go, just get rid of the weight and do a body weight. Glute squeezes, we'll add in that back row on the beep. Get ready. Right, I want you to really squeeze your glutes here now. Don't just lift your leg back there without any purpose. Squeeze and retract those shoulder blades and slow down. Slow this move right down. Good. Well done. You'd never think you'd feel your muscles working so hard with 20 exercises, but they sure are. They really are feeling like they've been worked here. That's it. Now squeeze and release those shoulder blades. Remember, your butt cheeks are like 2 sponges. Squeeze all the water out. Good work. Well done. And the last move, can you believe it? Butt kickers. Kick your rear to get those hamstrings worked once again today. And we bring in the upper half now. Let's go with that upper half now. Okay. Now, if you need a little bit more of a rest, do one arm at a time. If you feel like you can do it, bring 2 arms in. Now, my heart rate's coming up a little bit here. That's it. Good. Lift and lift. And don't forget, if you liked today's video, maybe you'll give me a like on the video. That would be great. Really helps me to know if you're liking the workouts. And I'll put more together for you. And drop me a comment as well. You can let me know how you got on. That's always very helpful, that feedback. It allows me to put together more workouts that you're liking. That's it. Good. Just there now. Get that last rep out for me. Well done. Okay, good work. Whew, that was tough. It started off being very doable, and then I quickly started to feel little quivers coming into the muscles. And then the last couple of exercises, which I knew, brought up the heart rate. Okay, let's go back and forth and bring it down a little bit. Well done. Let's stretch over. Good. Lovely, lovely strength work. And I think the clam could probably do it more than 45 seconds. I felt a little bit rushed with that one, so I would suggest that you go down now. It's best to do your cool down straight after a workout. Well, this is what I do anyway. But that's one you could definitely add to a cool down. Good, it's great for, like I was saying, keeping those hips healthy. The hip joint, like every other joint, needs movement. You don't want to have static joints. Keep your joints in motion. Get those nice exercises like clamshell, bridging, the pendulums that you see me doing a lot on the channel. Let's reach side to side. You might want to bring your feet a little closer together for that one. Pull your belly button in. All of those type of exercises I've just mentioned are just wonderful for keeping the hips healthy. That's it, good. So if you find yourself sitting on your settee or your couch, whatever you might call it, and you find yourself having a bit of difficulty getting out of it, your hips, your glutes have just lost some strength over time. And usually we do by being static a lot during our day, not moving much. So it's good to try and get some movement to those parts of your body in again, okay? And those exercises I mentioned are very, very good for that. Good. Now let's reach down and reach up. So here again, like I'm bringing mobility into the body here by just stretching down to the floor. Reach and circle up to the ceiling. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Now while your legs are out wide, let's do a little stretch there. You might have to just move your body around a little bit. Just find the position that works for you. And just nice holding the stretch now, a static stretch for your inner thigh. Good. Keep that back straight for me now. Back to the middle and over we go. Again, just maneuver the feet to what feels good for you. Well done. Take in your air. Now keep breathing. Keep that oxygen flowing around the body. Come back up. Walk the feet in. Let's do a nice stretch up to the ceiling and I will say goodbye to you. And as always, I will link up my cool downs. You'll find them in the description box below the video. So don't forget, if you want a longer cool down, spend that 10-15 minutes and it'll do your body the world of good. Don't forget to hydrate as well. Built up a little bit of a sweat here today now with that strength workout. So I'm going to get a drink of water now. Keep the muscles hydrated and allows you then to come back and do your workout again the next day or even the following day. Thank you so much for joining me. You did a great job and I will see you really soon.